Welcome to Working for Women, the Independent Women's Forum podcast, where we are changing the conversation about women and public policy for the better.
This is Patrice Onwuka, Senior Policy Analyst at the Independent Women's Forum. Boy, do we have a treat for you today. Today we're celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. We're going to be discussing how to improve opportunities for women, but particularly women of color. So everyone knows that Dr. King fought against injustice, and for civil rights for all Americans. He often talked about poverty and despair in the Black community. Now we fast forward 6 decades from what he has done, and we've seen great strides in the Black community. I mean, we've got Oprah, we have Clarence Thomas. We have Blacks in every level of government, business, academia. But as a group, Blacks still lag in many economic indicators. When we look at unemployment, wages, home ownership, and household wealth, yet Blacks lead in poverty and incarceration rates. So something is not working 6 decades after what Dr. King fought for. Well, today I'm excited to talk to two passionate ladies, two successful Black women, who don't hold their tongues. Sisters from North Carolina, Diamond and Silk are bloggers, internet and TV radio commentators who represent the silent majority. They're going to shed some light on what our leaders can do differently to help the Black community experience the blessings of freedom and prosperity. So, ladies, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Terrific. Well, I would love just for you guys to share with our listeners, tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you came to become a voice for the silent majority.
Well, I think we're a voice for just America and Americans. Back in 2014, the end of 2014, we started our YouTube channel, and it was called The Viewer's View. Mm-hmm. And just talking about, things that we saw, things that we didn't like, and we would just speak out about it. And then 2015 rolled along. The president announced that he was running for president, and I was watching it. And I called my sister. I told her to, cut on her TV. I know it's turn on your TV. I told her, cut on your TV. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump is announcing that he's running for president.
Mm-hmm. And I cut on my TV.
And then she called me back halfway through. She said, girl, this is going to be the next president of the United States. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so that was that. But we noticed how immediately the media started calling him out of his name, calling him derogatory names, and just trying to defame him, and we didn't like that. So we spoke out about it on our YouTube channel. We only had about 10 people on our YouTube channel. It's crazy. And people just started hearing it, and we kept speaking, because for the first time, we were paying attention. And so that's how we just came to prominence. That's how people knew about us. And then it just snowballed from there. Yeah. We've always been conservative, even though we tended to vote Democrat.
Right.
We did that because that's what we were taught to do. Mm-hmm. And this go around, we was like, wait a minute. We don't need no one spoon feeding us anything. We can think for ourselves. We can think for ourselves. And so we wanted to vote for who we wanted to vote for. And so we voted for President Trump. What he was saying made sense.
That's right.
I want to secure the border. Don't you secure your home? Mm-hmm. The White House is secure. Why not secure our borders? I want to bring back jobs back where people are thriving. Well, why would these governments outsource our jobs and leave the American people left with no jobs, riding dirty? Some people are homeless. No. So I think that at this time, the president, Donald Trump, now the president, he just had the right answers. Mm-hmm. He just tapped into what Americans was feeling, but nobody else paid attention to it but the president. Then Donald Trump, now President Trump. Mm-hmm. And that's just how it started, and we just kept speaking, and we're still speaking, because if you notice, the media is still every single day.
Yeah.
The left-wing media always portray our president in such a negative light, and we have to talk out about that. We don't like that.
Wow. I really applaud your courage and bravery in standing up, and highlighting, what's been going wrong in our nation. And I think you hit on two really interesting points there about employment and about national security. And I think that's true of every American, particularly women. When we voted, a lot of women voted with those two issues in mind. But when we dig deeper, when we think about like the Black community in general, though, what do you guys see as the two top issues still facing our community?
Well, let me just say this here first. Up under President Trump, Black unemployment is down, and Black home ownership is up. So that's a good thing. So it's not like he waited years to do anything.
That's right.
He did this within his first year. So that is what I'm so excited about. I'm also excited about the fact that he's brought back jobs. Jobs where you had the current president, the previous president say, those jobs will never come back. Obama said, those jobs will never come back.
Right.
Those jobs are coming back. That's what I do want to I'm just grateful for. Yeah. Okay. Now, what other things can be done? Well, first, I'm going to tell you this here, and I don't know how it's going to come across, but I think that some of these organizations and some of these groups that claim that they represent the Black people need to step back.
Yes.
And bring people to the table that really want to build an inner and urban city, really want to reform our prisons, really want security for all Americans. That's what I think that they should do, because I think what's happening is I think that we have been bamboozled and hoodwinked by some of these groups that claims that they work for people of color, that they're for the advancement of people of color, and the people of color are not advancing.
Right. They need to do away. They need to dismantle these groups and go directly to the people.
Take the message directly to the people.
That's right.
I think that when it comes to Black people, I think that we can think for ourselves. We don't need a leader. Why don't the white people have leaders? Why don't I hear leaders for the Asian people? Why is it that the Black people have to have a leader? I have my own head that has a brain. I can think for myself. I don't need a leader. And I think what's happening is you have a lot of these organizations and these groups that feel like that in order for things to change for the Black community, you have to go through them. Well, we don't have to go through them no more.
That's right.
We don't have to, because now we have a president, President Trump, that's looking out for all communities.
That's right.
I don't care what color your community is. So I think that's the first place that we need to start. These Black leaders, move them out the way. Some of these people are still living back in the 60s. This is 2018. Okay, so it's time to move forward. And if they cannot help, then they need to pass the baton.
Right.
And let somebody keep the movement moving forward. And instead of staying stuck in the 60s or staying stuck in the pain of our ancestors.
That's right. And also, it's time for Black America and anyone else to recognize themselves as an American first, not a color first. Because when you put your color first, then you segregate yourself from the process of being an American first. So it's time for everybody, every race and group of people, to recognize themselves as an American first. That means you're now part of the process. You're not less than. And whenever you take and segregate yourself from being part of the process and consider yourself as less than, then you remove yourself from getting every good thing that is given out, opportunities, jobs, et cetera, because you're sitting back and you're sitting waiting on somebody to give you something. So it's time to wake up and start viewing yourself as an American first.
That's right.
Ladies, you said that so beautifully. I think there's been, there's so much emphasis on supposed Black organizations as having the only solution. And I don't know if you saw this, but when after President Trump asked, what do inner city communities, what do Black folks have to lose? The NAACP, I believe it was, the Congressional Black Caucus put out a 130-page report talking about what we have to lose, but the solutions they pointed to were big government. They pointed to more government welfare, greater assistance, dependence on government, rather than empowering individuals to go out there and really take their passion to the workplace, take their passion to the market, and create something new. And I think that's two different philosophies about how we get people, we uplift people. It's like big government versus the individual and the private sector. You know, where do you two fall on that? Do you believe in the big government having the solutions, or the private individuals and the private market having the solutions?
Listen, let me tell you something. This is what we keep telling people. We can no longer vote for a system that keeps handing us crumbs. We can no longer vote for a system that just give us enough to keep us quiet, but not enough to make a difference.
That's right.
So, no, we don't believe in big government. I don't want you handing me anything, but I want you to create an atmosphere and an even playing field where we can all get out here and we can thrive together.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And I think the problem is Black America, some in Black America, are afraid to stand on their own 2 feet.
That's right.
And I think it stems from slavery. I really do. Their mother couldn't do it. It just passes down from generation to generation. And then when the Democrats put in the Jim Crow days, let me tell you something. When the Democrats put in the Jim Crow days, that hurt Black Americans. Because I always hear Black Americans say, we vote Democrat because at least we know we're going to eat.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's a mentality. It's a condition. It's a yoke that has to be broken. So, no, I don't believe in big government. I believe that the government should create the atmosphere, just like our president's doing. Look at President Trump, moving out all of these regulations where you can't build stuff and you can't do stuff. Get rid of this here stuff.
That's right.
What he did was even the playing field. Well, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you can. If you want your business to thrive, you can. If you want to find a good job, you can find one now.
That's
you can
right.
pick and choose what job. And you don't have to have a college education to make a decent living.
That's right.
That's all he did. Go ahead, Silka. Since you want to say something.
But all I want to say is that, you know, we have to also teach everybody, especially the Black community, not to fear walking through the unknown. A lot of people have been conditioned and taught that you don't want to know what's on the other side because it's so bad for you over there. Everybody is racist over there if you go to that side over there. You can't have nothing if you go to that side over there. And the sad thing is when you see somebody thinking outside of the black box, trying to accomplish something, it's those same Democrats that bring them back down like a bucket of crabs. So that creates this atmosphere of fear, and it keeps people stuck in the box, afraid to step outside of that box. So it's time for people to wake up from the fear of walking through the unknown. Don't be scared no more. Just walk. You have 2 legs. Everybody have a gift. All you have to do is unwrap it and use it.
And I get tired of them talking about the conservatives or the Republican Party. Now, I'm not fond of some of the elitists in the Republican Party, the swamp dwellers. I'm not. But, you know, okay, Democrats, if it was so good being a Democrat, why do you still complain? Why do you still complain about not having equality? You got what I'm saying? If it was so good being a Democrat. The thing is, it's time for people to wake up. It's time to wake up, smell the coffee, especially in Black America. I think we've been bamboozled. I think we've been hoodwinked by some of these leaders, these so-called people that work for their own greed and not the need of people. They go around and act as if we have to go through them. Listen, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, those people don't speak for me, okay?
Right.
Because the only time you see those people is when somebody done got killed and they know that they can make a little money off of this.
That's right.
Okay? But how? Tell me, how have these organizations and these groups, how have they built an inner and urban city? Because if you look at some in Black America, they're still in poverty.
That's right.
And so that's why. And this is why. And then, okay, now we're going to bring up the immigration debate. This is why. You know what? We need to take care of Americans first. We need to take care of these people with the mindsets that give me the crumbs because that's all I'm used to. And at least I'm going to be able to eat. We need to talk to those people. Educate them and let them know you can have more than this. You can have more. So then those people don't get mad when an immigrant come in this country and they can build a whole town into a Spanish-speaking town, or they can build up their communities, or they can have businesses and several businesses and become very successful. They won't get mad because now you're given the same opportunity.
Right.
But see, with the Black leaders, no. You just need a little food stamps. No, you just need an Obama phone. No. That's wrong. And stop making Black Americans think that we can't be successful like white America.
That's right.
And that's what these black leaders do. And I think that's what we're tired of. I'm very passionate about this because, under the Obama administration, the last 4 years of it, we saw things that I never in my lifetime saw, where you had people burning down their communities. And I can remember one black boy standing on TV, national TV, and saying, the white people have all of the money, but black people don't have it. And I'm just like, I was so taken aback by that. And I'm like, you know what? What's happening here? What's happening here? So then you have somebody like Donald Trump come along. I think you know what I'm about to do. I'm about to even this.
That's right.
I'm about to even this playing field, and a little boy like that going to be able to go get a good job.
Yes.
Where you going to be able to thrive, too. You see what I'm saying?
It's called sharing the wealth.
That's right. And so when we look at the president, this is why we love him so much. He's doing the right thing by people. He's doing the right thing, but you have the black so-called leaders. No. And let me tell you something about black people. All you got to mention is KKK and racists. Oh, Lord, everybody's a witch. Lord, everybody's a sell the pieces. They won't do their own research. They listen to the left-wing media narrative, and they spin it, and they keep listening to that. And it's time for people to wake up. We don't need anyone spoon-feeding us anything. We can feed ourselves. Find the information out for yourself. We happen to know the President, Donald J. Trump, and he is not a racist. He is a realist, and the only color he sees is green, and he wants everyone to have some of it.
That's right.
Lady, I could hear your passion on that. And, what I really agree with you on is that it's time for Black America really to wake up. I mean, I think these organizations existed. They had a valuable purpose in our communities at one time, but unfortunately they've become so divisive, that it's a turnoff to middle of the road folks of every color, who say, I actually want to make something for myself and not be dependent on government. And I'll tell you, ladies, I wrote an op-ed. I actually host a blog through Newsmax that talks about a new agenda for Black women. But one of the things I said is the Democratic Party has treated Black women like a side chick. They only come around for the vote, every few years. But you're kept off to the side, and every other demographic is courted. And you know what? I think that does a disservice to us. We are smart, independent people, and we should be, you should have to vie for our vote the way every other party has to vie for our vote. And I think that's a really powerful message. And if there's one message you would want to leave our listeners today, Black women, white women, women of every color, every economic background, what is that message you'd like to leave with them?
Make sure that you stay woke. Don't just be fed anything. Make a difference. Make a difference in your community. And speak up. Sometimes it's hard for people of color to speak up because they are afraid that they're going to be ostracized, criticized, or stigmatized.
Right.
But if we don't speak up, what's going to happen? We're going to remain stuck in the 60s.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sylvia.
Well, I just want to say your vote is your power, and do not allow anybody to take it and use it for their own greed and not the need of all people. So educate yourself. Don't let no one just tell you that the sky is green when you know it's blue. Educate yourself into what's going on and realize how your life is affected by everything. A lot of people say, I don't want to make this political. But when you look at everything, laws that's made by Congress, it affects your everyday life. Wake up to see how certain laws and rules affect your life. It's not just about the president. It's about how these different laws and rules affect your life, and educate yourself to it and become part of the process of everything that's going on. If not, as Diamond clearly stated, you're going to stay stuck. So just wake up.
Diamond, Silk, you ladies spoke so eloquently just now with that message you left to our listeners. Wake up, be educated, and make sure that recognize your vote is powerful and use it. So I really want to thank you guys just for taking a few moments to talk with me today and with our listeners about, how we empower Black Americans, but really all Americans. And I think, as you so well said, that this is about letting people be independent and free to pursue what they want, but also for them to be informed and not just take what they hear in the media as Bible, but actually go and do the research and understand what's important and what's good for you. So, ladies, a million thank yous for joining us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. And listen, don't forget to visit our Diamond and Silk store and our Diamond and Silk page. We are having what's called a D&S Chit Chat Tour, where we're going to be doing a grassroots work. Okay, we're going out to speak to people. We want to meet people. We want to see people. We want people to understand what's going on, especially with all of the censorship that's going on with, the different platforms that's going on. We want to get out and see people. So we're going to be doing a grassroots work. Go to diamondandsilk.com, click on Chit Chat Tour, and get your ticket to come and see Diamond and Silk speak about important issues that's going on in the world.
Love it.
Excellent. Love it so much. Folks, you've just heard these ladies. Definitely check out their website and check out their tour. And once again, as we always say, all issues are women's issues at the Independent Women's Forum, but we really believe that your power, your individual choice, and your individual abilities are what's really going to empower you, your family, and your community. And so we believe that the free market system and free minds are what really liberates individuals.
Wonderful.
Thank you for listening to us today. We'll be back again with some great guests. But Diamond and Silk, thank you once again, and happy MLK Day to everyone out there.
If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, please give it a thumbs up, share it on social media, or stop by IWF.org for similar content.